I'm Samantha Pounds, and we are here for a segment of Leading Ladies. I have here with me Mrs. Faith Moore Mckinney. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk a little bit about your book, Schmingling. Now, let's get right into it. So, this is a very hefty title. So, let's talk about how did you come up with the title of the book, and what is this book about?
Well, Samantha, I love your outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, schmingling is a combination of schmoozing and mingling, and I'm known as the great connector. And, you know, the way I came up with that was I wanted to be in the limelight. I wanted to be famous, and I wanted to talk about what I love is the law of attraction. But I didn't have any real great monumental happenings, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a billionaire. I couldn't share my secrets on how to make $1 billion, but I knew it worked for me. So I had to use the resources that I had, which was people and their resources. And, you know, meeting people and schmoozing and mingling and then connecting them to other people was my gift. So I came up with the title Schmingling. Schmoozing and mingling equals schmingling. And I show people how to connect and build themselves up and to be seen as an expert, which is what I needed to do in order to be able to speak about what I really wanted to speak about, which was the law of attraction.
Nice. Now, with this book, you know, just take me a little bit through the process. How long did it take you to formulate this book? Did you have to meet with people? Just take me throughout the process.
Well, the mechanics of the book was about 1.5 years off and on because, as you know, there are a lot of things life is pulling you, but when I really got focused, it really didn't take that long. To formulate a book, what really needs to happen is to think about what you want the result to be. For instance, I knew I wanted to speak about the book. I wanted to be able to travel and speak on a topic. So in order to do that, I had to have steps to teach on. And things that I could be able, I had to make the book teachable. Mm-hmm. So once I did that, and once I figured that out, then it kind of wrote itself. But first I like to put in a lot of stories because I like to share my experiences about the people that I met and how I met them and some of the things that I do to get seen. So the stories kind of fill up the book. It's a really easy read, but it's packed with information.
Nice. Now, speaking of being a great connector, I know that you've met a lot of wonderful people. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you've met and how they've personally impacted your life, even as the connector?
Well, you know, when I talk about connection and law of attraction, I always have to go to the story about how I met Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. And he's in the movie The Secret, and he's got a huge church in Los Angeles called Agape. And the way I met him, it was really, really weird. I have a speaking coach. His name is David Bridgeforth. And he told me about his experience visiting Agape and how he wanted to go to Agape and speak on the stage and how he's going to share the stage with Michael Bernard Beckwith and speak to all the stars and all the people that were in the congregation. And as I listened to him talk about it, I got so excited about meeting Michael Bernard Beckwith because I've always wanted to meet him. I said, oh, wow, tell me how it's going to be. What does it look like? How do you feel? And he described everything. And we had these meetings. We had our sessions on Wednesday. So this Wednesday we were talking and meeting, and I was just like, wow, I'm going to meet him. I could feel it. And so the next Monday, well, not even the next Monday, but the next Friday after that, I had volunteered to do a PBS, take phone calls at the PBS station. And the lady who was coordinating it said, oh, great, I'm so glad you're still doing the volunteer thing. We have a special guest coming on Monday, and you'll never guess who it is. I said, who? She said, Michael Bernard Beckwith.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is the kind of thing that I want to share, you know, that kind of power, how to manifest that people or things or events. And so many things have happened in my life like that. I really want to share it, but I had to build up my credibility in order to do that because I wanted to make sure that people really saw me and understood that, yeah, this is real. That's why I take so many pictures.
And we always love a great picture because it captures the memories and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, speaking of being a great connector, I know that, and if a lot of people don't know, but I know that you actually donated a kidney. Now, with that being said, you know, how has that experience influenced what you're doing with this book?
Well, as I told you before that I wanted to make a monumental difference as well as build my credibility. Back in 1998, I was given a cornea. I had a cornea transplant. I have a hereditary cornea disease called keratoconus, and I needed a transplant, and it came from a young boy. And I thought, wow, you know, the family of this young boy was so generous and gave out of what I thought was their abundance. I never would have considered doing that, you know, especially my own child. And I wanted to do that. And in 1998, well, I was at rock bottom. And I said, I want to get to the point where I can give from my abundance. So in 2009, I was in a place where I felt like I could start living my life and building on what I had accomplished. But I knew I needed something monumental to happen. And one night I got an email from my cousin whose husband needed a kidney transplant. And I knew that was for me. And I said, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to do it. It was a rough 5 months. Not only did I have to contend with my parents who really didn't want me to do it, but, you know, just my internal feelings. I was convicted. I knew that I was going to do it. But the commitment, not only from me, but my entire family, was something that I really had to struggle with, but I knew that I was committed. And our kidneys are both doing great.
Awesome.
5 years later.
Awesome. So with that being said, do you, you know, speak on behalf of any organizations with organ donors or anything of that nature?
Yes. I speak with the National Kidney Foundation of Indiana, and I go around town speaking. And I talk about kidney health and from my own perspective as a kidney donor. It's really humbling to speak with and to people who are going through issues with kidney and going through dialysis. It's a horrible life to live in when you're on dialysis, and you know, organ donorship, and especially in the African American community, is really lacking. And I wanted to be a voice. I wanted to show people, especially in the African American community, that you can be a living donor and still thrive. And so that's what I've done, and that's my message too.
Absolutely. Now, just kind of switching gears for a little bit, let's talk about instant celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about how did that come about? What made you want to create a toolkit for something like that?
Instant Celebrity Media Bootcamp is coming up later on this year. It is going to be a forum or a location where people who want to get into the media, want to be seen and know how to be a celebrity, and they can meet up with media outlets. And as a media personality for ICNE Mag for so many years, I realized, wow, there's not too many people who can do this or who are available to do this. So I want to share my opportunity with others and teach them how to do it, because Indianapolis is a great place to get to media exposure, to get in video, to get in film. I've been in a movie, a webisode, and plays. And you know, Indianapolis is a small town, but we have a lot of resources. And if you play your cards right, you can move them up. So.
Absolutely. I need to hang out with you.
You are.
Need to hang out with you a little bit more. So with Instant Celebrity, just kind of tell me a little bit about, you know, what is your goal, you know, with that? Is this something that you see long term, or just kind of want to introduce it to the world? Just tell me a little bit about what you see for it.
Well, Instant Celebrity, I definitely see it as a long-term project, and I want to take it to the entire world. I want to be able to share this celebrity status thing with the entire world, because with social media, I mean, you can write your own ticket if you know what to do. I mean, I always think about the Kardashians,
yes,
how they position themselves
yes,
in more ways than one, but they position themselves in the media to become media stars. And so that's what I've done, and that's what I'm going to show other people, how to do that, how to position yourself in the community, how to build your fan base, how to position yourself with confidence, and how to position yourself in different, especially with selfies. I mean, selfies are
yes,
fantastic.
yes.
They're really the true instant celebrity maker. So, I mean, I teach that, and I've spoken on that, and people are always like, wow, I never knew why people do that, but it really is the celebrity maker. Or it's just one secret of being an instant celebrity.
Absolutely. So speaking of selfies, while we're on the topic, as a media personality, how important do you feel social media is, especially when connecting or being a great connector?
Well, social media, I think, has taken over media. And they always say, he who controls the media controls the world, because you control the perception. And what I've done is I show people how to control the perception of yourself into the world. So I teach you how to post and how to be seen as a certain persona. You know, what to post, what not to post,
Right.
how to get into big publications and then repost those. How to, oh, here's a tip. Here's one thing.
Okay, let me give my.
Okay, so when I do celebrity interviews as well. So whenever I interview someone like a celebrity, I post it. But for instance, Kirk Franklin, his music's always played on the radio. Whenever his song is played, I repost it. And
Wow.
not only do the people who see it on Facebook think that I was just with Kirk Franklin,
Right.
but I'm not the only one listening to the radio and hearing that song, and I'm not the only one on Facebook at the same time too. So those people automatically think that I know everybody, I'm with everybody,
Wow.
and they just think that it's real time, but it's not. And that's part of controlling the perception and controlling social media. And that's what instant celebrity is all about.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, kind of digging a little bit deeper with social media, how do you feel that social media has changed, and do you feel that some of the social media that we're seeing now, the trends that we're seeing, is getting worse, or do you see it getting better?
I think social media is just a reflection of our society. Being able to have control of what you're perceived as is huge. It's life-changing. And you know, I can't control what other people do. I can only control what I do. And I can have a little bit of control about the perception that I give to other people. So that's huge. I mean, without that, we wouldn't have just the innovations that we would have. It wouldn't be moving at the speed of light. I mean, we're learning new things every day, and from social media.
Absolutely. Well, now that we have schminkling, what is next for you? Is there another book in the works, or what's next?
Well, so I also have a networking organization called Successful Thinkers of Indianapolis, and it's almost 5 years old.
Wow.
And the other day, the founder, Jim Bellicera, he's out of Florida now, he informed me that he will be sending me around the world and across the country first, but around the world, speaking about successful thinkers and networking and the importance of building a networking organization. And I attribute it to my fan base, having your own Successful Thinkers networking organization. I mean, anyone can do it. It's absolutely free. We've got fantastic apps, but it establishes you as a leader in your community. So Successful Thinkers is key. And it also uses social media as well. So you're connected not only to everyone in Indianapolis or in your town, but everywhere else in the country. So they see what you're doing and they edify you. And that's part of the perception.
Right. Absolutely. So I do have one thing I would like to say, because we definitely want people to support, schmingling. If you could give one piece of free advice about networking, for someone who does not know how to network, or they don't even know where to start, what would you say to that person?
I would say the best piece of advice for someone networking and getting out is find someone that you admire. Find somebody that's doing what you want to do, and find out where they're going. Go there, or find out who they're aligned with. You know, they may be in another city or another country, but find out who they're aligned with and align yourself with those people. As a matter of fact, the smaller the event, the smaller the group, the more intimate, the better. For instance, last night I was with someone who writes music, writes songs for, and earns a living writing music. And in the same room was an owner of 4 McDonald's. And in the same room was doctors and Indianapolis Fever back office people. So all of these people have connections, and all of these people have resources, and there weren't very many people in the room. So you don't have to go to a big networking event. I think the myth is going into a room full of people. What you should do is find out where the power people are, and a lot of times they're they're the little small events that people feel like they're going to brush off.
Right.
Those are the ones you should go to.
Absolutely.
That's my tip.
Absolutely. I hope everyone is taking notes about that. Here at Leading Ladies, we're all about uplifting and empowering women. Why do you consider yourself a leading lady?
Wow. You know, I would consider myself a leading lady because I dare to be different. I dare to change the world a little bit at a time. I want to show my family, my children, a legacy. I want to leave them a legacy that, you know, mom's not perfect, but mom is trying really hard. And if they can understand that, then I think I've done my job.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about where people can purchase this book, and also where can we connect with you?
Well, you can get Schmingling on Amazon.com, or Kindle. And you can also, if you're in Indianapolis, get it at the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library.
Nice. And is there a website that we can stay in contact with you at, or do you have social media?
Facebook is my favorite, so check me out at Faith Moore Mckinney on Facebook, or my website, faithmckinney.com. Or you can go to schmingling.com, or schminglingbiz.com, I'm sorry, schminglingbiz.com. But faithmckinney.com will have all you need.
All right, well, thank you so much for stopping by our couch to chat with me a little bit. It's been a pleasure. I always enjoy talking with you. So I am looking forward to your success, and I am looking forward, and I know for a fact that as a leading lady, you will continue to soar high. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Samantha.